I am talking in between the stage when you see a dream, then how do you do it? Because when I go to my sports club, I see a lot of these Arnold Schwarzenegger types, you know, with big muscles. And when I talk to them and say, you know, what do you think about dreams and what do you think about, you know, some philosophical, and they think I'm, you know, you have to talk business with them, you know, muscle talk. And if you talk with, I meet some of these intellectual types or dreamer types, and they are dreaming and dreaming and dreaming, but they cannot convert the dream to reality, the dream to this. And that small niche, how to do it, is what I've done thrice in my life. I was in India. My father died when I was 2. I'm just giving you a quick, because they've only given me about 10, 12 minutes to give this small, how to convert a dream to reality. So I'm speaking on the how part. My father died when I was 2. I was on the streets, slept on the streets in India. I had nothing, nobody, no friends, and no family who would take care of me. And I became somebody. I came to Austria, I'm giving you a short run, with 60 euros in my pocket. And I made a dream come real here in Austria, on the continent here. I went to the United States again with nothing, and I became something. You can check up on that. I don't have the details to say, but I accomplished then something there. And again, became an entrepreneur here in Austria, which is one of the most difficult things to do. So this is just to give you a rundown. So I'm talking on this small part between how to do it. You know, people can talk, have a dream, do a dream, but how? My biggest problem always is how. How do you really do it? Give me the steps. Because if I tell you to go upstairs to the first floor and I don't tell you where the stairs are, there's no way you're going to reach up. But if I tell you where the stairs are, then it is very simple. So I'm just going to give you just a few steps. Somewhere I read, a wise man needs only a hint. Others need much longer. Okay? So let's start. Why am I doing it? Just like Nikki was saying, we are not paid to do this here. At a certain stage in my life, somebody was surprised at how old I am. And when you see 70 coming pretty close by, you think of giving back to society. It's the same like Creative Commons or like you know, open source, etc. So you want to give back something. So I've reached a stage in my life, I've accomplished most of my dreams, thrice on 3 continents. So I'm here to just give you a few secrets. If you're smart enough and sharp enough, you'll catch it, okay? So, this is a quote which says, out of his belly, flumina de ventre, ius fluent aquae vive. Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. I shall be rushing, excuse me, there were 100 slides. They asked me to reduce it, I reduced to 48. Then I reduced it to 28, and I'm trying to do it now in 18. So it's going to be a little fast, I warn you. Huh? Yes. What I'd like you to do is, I will play a short note for you now. Is it been plugged in? Okay. I would like you to actually do it, and that's why you will now close your eyes and actually close your eyes. We are not just going to talk, we're going to do things. You're going to close your eyes and you are going to listen to some music. Imagine the stars. We are actually dreaming. Close your eyes. And then afterwards, dream your dream now, and you see it takes a moment to change from a businessman to a trainer. I am now your trainer who's going to tell you how to do it. So if you like, at the end of what I say, you will put your finger in your belly button and you will say yes. Okay? that will tell me that you got at least one part of the puzzle. The next is what I call the butterfly effect on dreams. This is my quote. You can change, it's slightly corrected, you can change any moment at any time. As you saw, I changed in a minute, and I can be a trainer, I can be anybody in a minute. So, once you've got that, how do I come to the butterfly effect? What happens in life is what is VAT, what in German we say Mehrwertsteuer. You just add a little value to something, and that's how you change something. If you imagine a conveyor belt where they're producing Porsche cars, or any car for that matter, there is a conveyor belt, and everybody is doing his work. Till in the end, if the car is not polished, nobody's going to buy it. The last person is just polishing the car so that it has a shine. So when you walk into the showroom and you see the shining car, boy, you want to buy it. All this last person is doing is he's just adding the shine to the finished product. He's just doing one step. In other words, when we just add one small step, you can change the entire value of the product, which is called the VAT. So the principle number one is you just add a little value. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just add a little value to any product. So I'm giving you one hint of how you do this. We are not just talking about it. The next one is called the KISS principle. All these principles I learned myself. Nobody ever taught me, as I told you. KISS principle means keep it simple, stupid. This is any Hausfrau, anybody who is just who hasn't even finished school can understand this. It's like when you go to a Chinese shop, you say menu number 3, or you go to McDonald's and you say, I want menu number 3. It's as simple as that. Keep it simple. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to be successful. If you see all these principles, I don't have the time because he'll probably time me out. Archimedes, one of the biggest principles nowadays they teach it in school. But what is this principle? It's basically as long as the water displaced, it can hold up any ship. Today the biggest ships, the biggest container ships run on this principle of Archimedes' principle. But it's a very simple principle. Newton's law, he just saw an apple falling. There's no rocket science to it. Why does apple fall to the ground? As simple as that. Anybody can do. They teach these principles in schools. The law of thermodynamics. All energy changes from one energy to the other. Einstein's law of relativity, which we'll talk again. Basically, the point is I can go through all of these principles in details. These were simple laws, very simple laws by simple observation. A housewife can learn this. And what they changed the world and the worldview. And today these are taught in schools. 17-year-olds learn these principles in school. But what was simple is profound, can change your life, and you can change anything in life with just a... So what is missing is what I did with my clothes, is a principle called metamorphosis. When you change something's value, as energy changes, so does. As long as in your puzzle of your dream, even one is missing, your dream will never come true. Just like this puzzle will never become complete unless all the parts are there. And the point which I'm teaching is this one thing which is missing in most of your dreams is metamorphosis. This has been proved in a theory called the chaos theory. In the chaos theory, nowadays they use it in physics and science and mechanics and most of these others. Those who are scientists will know what I'm talking about. And as simply said, it's called the butterfly effect, which means if a butterfly in Japan waves its wings, it has an effect around the world. On the other side, you will see there might be a hurricane because of the flapping of the wings. Now you'll say, hey, this guy is crazy. This can never happen. But believe me, there are scientific studies which prove almost that everything has, and I'll in these few minutes try to prove the same to you. This has been mathematically proven on almost all sciences, what is called the sensitive dependency of initial conditions. Basically, I won't bore you with it. Your initial reactions have tremendous effects, tremendous repercussions. And Archimedes said something very similar. He said, just give me a place to stand with a lever and I can move. It's the same thing in different words. The initial has a lot of it. So this is the other secret which I'm giving you, is basically your initial is very important. All of us are living in a system which is telling you you are insignificant and you are just a number and what you do doesn't matter. That's how the system is built. But if you reverse that with metaphors and say, I am somebody, what I do has meaning, and it will have repercussions which you can see in all the sciences. Then when you change this basic thinking, you will start bringing your dreams to reality. Sorry. This is another principle which is called the domino effect. If I hit the right button, I can create my dream even at the end of the world. Those who have seen pictures know that this is true. But if you hit it here, you will just drop 4 or 5. And what we in America used to say, you'll keep burning your tires, but nothing is going to move. I don't know those who have heard this phrase. So what happens is you have to learn to find the right button. That's another mistake which most people, and that's why your dreams never come true. The next, if you know it, as I mentioned about the button on the domino effect, then it will go around the world, no problem. So if you know it, it's very simple. The secret lies in getting to know it. Then it is performed just like all the other principles. This I've already told you. Make the right choice. Number 1, change this today, and you will already start seeing the difference when you shift this parameter. The next principle is called the 3D principle. Your dreams, you will keep dreaming. Unless you put deeds to it, they will be dead. And deeds bring your dreams to life. Next principle. So it's very simple as that. Just like a trainer says, do your sit-ups. I'm giving you what you have to do, and that will make a difference. Otherwise, there is a very minor difference between just daydreaming and dreaming on. So you can fall into the pit of just daydreaming, which you want to. The next principle is called the ask principle. Ask means ask, which shows you're humble enough to look for a dream. Seek means you are pursuing your dream. There will be resistance. And knock, there will be resistance to your dream. So these steps you have to know in advance, then you can proceed further. Pursuing shows that you are really wanting to do your dream. And then finally, you will have to act on these principles. Then learn a simple my mantra, which was the 7D mantra. Mantra, though, for those of you know, you just repeat it. Just like, who was this famous Muhammad Ali who used to do, fly like a bird, sting like a bee. You just repeat. That's a mantra, which will bring you into a different state. Basically, you have to decide, indoctrinate yourself by singing repeatedly, daily. You have to do it like every 3 hours, 4 hours. Then you put action to it. You dance to that music. Then you speak it out, your dream. If you don't speak it out, it'll never come into fruition. And then you demand nature, your friends, your resources, they will to come to that dream of yours. And finally, you do yourself. And the next step is it will start delivering your dream. This is one of the most important graphs that I've made for you. Most people dream, but then they think, oh, it's going to cost too much. It may not work. It may work. What will my friends say? And they try to prod themselves. I'll work harder, and my dream will come true. It will never come true, in my experience. And I can only give you from my experience. You have to do what is called an inversion, which is missing in most people's puzzle. In other words, your pain has to be converted to pleasure. Your fear has to be converted to conviction and confidence. And your stick has to be turned into a carrot, which means you have to motivate yourself. Instead of saying, I work harder, you motivate it. What will it bring me? What will it bring the people? What will it bring society? My dream. And of course, you could have a motivation like, I'll be a millionaire, I'll be rich, I'll have my own plane. So basically, the other secret is you have to change. You have to change yourself, metamorph yourself. Dreams usually start here, and most people try to jump to results, and it never works. You will know many dreamers who've been dreaming for 10 years and nothing has worked. They forget these steps. You have to look at the potential, have conviction, and then go into action. My son last year said, you have to go from the head to the heart and then to your hands. If you go from your head directly to your hands, your dream will never work. Because you have missed one major step, which is to go to the heart. You have to have conviction. It's like the red trees in California. The higher they go, the deeper has to be the roots. If you have no roots in your heart, you have no conviction, your actions, you can work as much as you want, will never work. Because you're missing one major step, which is having conviction before you go to the action. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe said this, which is again, action and commitment is what is missing, and Providence has a way of bringing your dream to fruition if you believe in your heart and then act on it. Theodor Herzl from Vienna, who had a dream that a nation which had not existed for 2,000 years would come into existence. And it did. Today, the state of Israel was his dream. And he said this beautiful verse. I was just walking through Vienna, and suddenly I read this, and I said, this is the missing puzzle. This is what I'm looking for. If you will it, it is no longer a dream. You can change by just that one step, because you willed it. It will come from the metaphysical world to the real world. Again, as I mentioned again, the step missing by many dreamers is this middle step of conviction. They jump from dream to action, but they don't have the ground which will hold the tree, which is conviction. Some big philosophers, etc., have used this term, tantum quantum, the difference that makes the difference. The other secret is, which is missing by most dreamers, is this cycle of repetition. They do it once, they do it twice, I might be over, so I'll hurry up. The power is in repeating, so you have to keep repeating what you're doing. Otherwise, it will never work. And then, last thing is you have to bring these into synchronicity, into togetherness. I'm running short of time, as I mentioned before. If you bring this, there is convergence. It's like a focus glass, which brings then your dream to fruition. Same here with geography, timing, and appointment. If something was not clear, I'll be happy to discuss it with you after the talk. Thank you very much.